Hello, my lovely audience. Welcome to another video. Welcome to What if Izuku had the quirk Free Spirit? Or was the reincarnation of Nika, Nika. Why I spelt out the name first is because I don't want to sound like I'm saying the N-word. It's Nika. I'm not saying the N-word. Nika. Anyway, still deciding on whether or not I am naming it that because, this quirk involves some things that aren't really related to him. Like cartoon bullshit such as the anvil thing, where you just draw an X and then an anvil comes crashing down. Hell, it's even going as far back as rubber hose. We all know what that is, right? Like the original Popeye cartoons, that was absolutely terrifying, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. Still deciding, and I'm probably still going to be deciding after I post this video, so feel free to leave a name suggestion in the comments. Yeah, so with that out of the way, let's get on with the what if. Izuku Midoriya. This individual is rather unique, and, well, the Hero Agency is aware of that, while Hero Society as a whole, well, not the entirety. Mainly just middle-level heroes. Like, heroes that are kind of in the middle. Mostly, and, well, upwards. The especially weak or new heroes are not quite as informed on Izuku as others. They all just know and have one sole goal. Keep Izuku's collar on and active at all costs. Majority of people, well, majority of heroes don't know why this is the case. They just know that something very bad would happen if Izuku's quirk erasing collar was taken off. Something very, very bad. Some speculate his quirk is something like a nuclear bomb, causing him to set off and possibly level a city. Others think that his quirk is some kind of interdimensional gateway to hell or something. Only certain heroes are informed of what his quirk actually is and what it's capable of, and let's just say they wish they had not. Aizawa. Yeah, little bit of humor there for you. But yes, Aizawa and so on, All Might, Endeavor, really majority of the top-ranked heroes and or the very, very specific heroes are aware of what Izuku is capable of. And, well, let's just say it ain't pretty. Imagine a cartoon character in the real world, fully unrestricted and able to do whatever they find amusing. When I mean unrestricted, I mean unrestricted. They don't even have to follow the laws of, well, child censorship. Just a full-on, unbridled, real-world cartoon character that doesn't age, that doesn't get tired, that doesn't stop whatsoever. Just endless, just an unstoppable force of nature. One that doesn't age, one that doesn't follow any laws, any rules, just does what it finds amusing. It can save people, it can kill people, all. And, well, I'm sure you're asking, how was Hero Society informed of this? They have an individual with a calamity quirk, a few people, who are capable of predicting calamities, such as great tsunamis, tornadoes, in order for heroes to either prevent them, well, stuff like, yeah, calamities. So, tornadoes, earthquakes, they're mainly used for, getting people out of an area preemptively for the disaster. But almost all of them, all of their quirks went off the exact moment Izuku had been born. And instead of informing them about, a tornado or an earthquake, they informed them about the very downfall of hero society itself. This one child has the potential to literally cause the entire world's government to collapse and essentially thrust humanity into an age of chaos and mass amounts of change. Some for the better, some for the worse. It is unknown. Give me a moment. Many suggested killing Izuku, or drugging him, or just keeping him locked away. But, well, because of the nature of his quirk, all of these options are impossible. Eventually, he will escape. If you kill him, he will come back, except unrestricted by his quirk, erasing collar. You drug him, he's immune to the stuff. He's practically immune to Eraserhead's quirk as well. The kind of collar they're using on him is the same kind of technology they used on All for One, except amped up by like 5. I'm sure you're questioning how they can power something like that. It's connected to Izuku's immune, it runs off of Izuku's biological processes, so if he's well fed, the collar stays on, essentially. Why they don't just lock him away? Don't know. But Nezu said something about, the entire facility getting slaughtered. Yeah, apparently they already tried that, and they don't know why or how, but everyone in that facility was dead within a week. So, time skip. When Bakugo's being choked by the sludge villain, Izuku knows All Might is there, and he knows that he isn't doing anything, so he would just decide to run in. Izuku's unaware of what his quirk is, or why he needs to wear the collar. All he knows is maybe he can help in some way. So he would run in, and All Might's face would just lose all color. Like, All Might would just go pale, like, no, don't do that! And, well, the sludge villain would use Bakugo to blow Izuku the fuck up. Now, here's a fun fact about Izuku's quirk. It's barely contained by the collar. Yeah, his quirk is barely contained by the collar. Like, his body is still somewhat rubbery. Like, how do I explain this? He can't really break bones that easily. Think of him like a baby. His bones are like a baby's. Very soft and very malleable. But a fucking explosion to the chest is still probably gonna kill him. So, Izuku gets blown the fuck up. All Might's like, his face just kinda goes much, much paler. Now he's really looking like a skeleton, as he just says to himself, well, fuck. Cut back to, well, UA. The individuals with the calamity quirks, their quirks just go the fuck off. Just begin absolutely going wild. Like, one guy who has a calamity quirk with the bad habit of swearing. Yeah, it's a quirk that allows him to predict calamities. It just describes the calamities like it's a drunk British man. The calamity quirk would go off and say, well, we're fucked! We're fucked. A literal angry deity was just born. We are so fucked. Just like my kid's football game, we are. This is gonna be a one-sided beatdown. Yeah, that's kind of what the quirk is saying. And, well, we cut to a woman with long black hair and a long traditional Japanese kimono, kneeled over with a biwa. Y'all know what that instrument is. This woman would just begin smiling as she would lift her head. One of her eyes, well, covered by her hair, but the other eye shone, and has a weird spiral pattern that's just kind of spinning as she would start absolutely jamming it on the biwa. Like, oh, it's happening. It's happening. I've waited 120 years for this. It's finally happening. What does she mean by 120 years? You will find out later if I make a part 2. Hey, Bob, you better. Who said that? Me. Can we get to my part already? I'm getting real antsy. Like, really, the animators are so boring. We don't have animators. The animators of the people's imaginations. Now get to my part already. Like, the suspense is killing me, and I'm the main character. Okay. This is new. So, yeah. Izuku. Cut back to Izuku. He's falling to the ground. He would hit the floor, and his collar would snap off, as he would just begin smiling, and his, green hair would begin smoking as white would come out. Well, no, not in that way! Oh my fuck! That was an the inappropriateness. I don't mean like that, I mean like his hair would start turning white. So he's smiling, like fucking Shinji in Bleach. Just like his smile, his teeth are like not separated, it's weird. As he would start smiling and he would start giggling and then laughing, his hair's fully white now, as he would say, "Hey Kachan, how does it feel getting the anime treatment from a sludgy or Kelly?" Well, the sludge villain and Bakugo would just kind of pause for a moment, like, does it look like I'm a sludgy R. Kelly? That's kind of what the sludge villain's thinking. Like, as Izuku, still laughing, would say, I mean, really? Like, I didn't know Michael Jackson's soul went and possessed a pile of shit. You would think he would possess a pile of... You would think he would possess a white paint bucket at the least. Okay, this kid's getting annoying. Like, very annoying. I have one more. I mean, really? I can't believe R. Kelly came back. No, like, R. Kelly had standards, you know. At least he had standards. But you just... R. Kelly had standards. At the very least. The sludge villain's eye would twitch, and Bakugo's like, "The fuck you mean? R. Kelly had standards. Am I that bad?" Like, Bakugo's beginning to question his entire existence, because the nicest person he knows just said that R. Kelly had standards. And, like, really, this entire situation's just very confusing to the sludge villain. He's like, "I blew you up and you started doing stand-up comedy." So, yeah, the sludge villain would just decide, okay, I'm killing this kid. So he would, like, try and suffocate Izuku. He would just, like, jump forwards. Izuku, seeing this, would just kind of get caught. As well, a hand would reach out from the sludge villain, holding a bomb, as he would say, "Hey, can you hold this for a second?" He would pass the bomb to Sludge Villain. He would then quickly move out the back of the Sludge Villain. Not like that. Just kind of dash out, grabbing Bakugo. As, well, the bomb would begin ticking as, well, the timer on it, the little clock, would just open, and a cuckoo bird would just kind of fly out and go, cuckoo! And then fly off. Like it was a wooden cuckoo bird that you would see in a clock. It would just fly out, go cuckoo, and then fly away. Remember, it's a wooden cuckoo bird as well. As we cut to the hero agency, Nezu's just kind of looking out a window peacefully, and then suddenly a giant-ass explosion just is in the horizon. Just boom! His window and every window of, like, every pane of glass within 100-mile radius would just shatter, as he would just go, holy shit! What the fuck? As, like, one of the calamity people with a calamity quirk would run in like, it's happening! It's happening! Nezu would just look at him and go, well, fuck. We are fucked! Izuku would see the sludge villain get completely and totally atomized. And he would just start, his smile would get wider and he would fall over laughing like, the sludgy R. Kelly got atomized. Just like that guy over there, his name is Adam. He's going through a divorce. His wife cheated on him with the mailman. He's probably gonna lose his kids. Like a random guy in the crowd with like a name tag that just says Adam would just kind of slump over and walk away. Izuku's on the floor like kicking and hitting it, laughing his ass off. He's like crying. Oh, life is so much fun now. This is the freest I've felt in years. Oh, I need a warm-up. Hey, how about we go for a run around the planet? That would be fun, right? He would just begin laughing again, falling over. All Might would just appear out of thin air like, okay, we gotta go. Well, isn't it bitch, mate? How you doing, man? That's rude. Usually Izuku's very nice to me. Yeah, except, you know, you went ahead and let a child almost die. I mean, that's funny, right? The #1 hero, the symbol of peace, was just kind of sitting in the background, letting a child get choked to death. What do you mean? I only got here. Izuku would just pull out a camera with the recording of All Might, you know, in his little skeleton form, like Small Might, just buffing up into All Might and running in. And just, like, this entire conversation plays out again. The media are staring at this. The crowd are staring at this. The heroes are staring at this. And Izuku's just on the ground kicking and laughing. One reporter goes, wait, how do we know he's telling the truth? Adam would just walk up like, he just yelled out the fact that I was getting divorced, which I am, and yelled out the fact that I'm losing my kids, which I am. I'm very sad about it, but, like, he just said that, and it's happening in my life, so I think we can trust him. One of the reporters would just walk up to All Might like, were you really gonna let the child die? As Izuku's just on the ground kicking and laughing. He's going in circles now, like, laughing his ass off, like, All Might's reputation is about to go into the dirt. How does that feel, bitch, mate? Okay, that's enough, Izuku. Eraserhead would just kind of appear, like, from the alleyway. Like, I saw what's happening on the news. I think we can go now. Let me just, put back on your collar. I have a new one. Oh, I ain't putting back on that collar. He would just quickly spring up. I ain't putting it back on. You can't make me. He would just start running in place as his legs would begin turning into figure eights. He would reel back, smoke would blow from behind him, and instead of moving forwards, his legs would just bounce forwards off of him as he would just fall to the ground. The bottom half of him and now a stump. He would just kind of look up and tap his fingers against the ground. Like, fucking deserters. His arms would then stretch forwards like a cartoon character as he would grab his legs, pull them back, and forcibly reattach them, like, as he would say, "You damn deserting jackasses! I was trying to make an escape. Like, if I go down, we all go down. You go down with me." Give me a moment. He would get up and, like, start readying himself again before Aizawa would quickly grab him by the cheek. Izuku's bottom half would just go flying, stretching along with his cheek as he would just kind of slinky back, snapping like a rubber band. As he would just go, "That hurt, Aizawa." It's a race ahead, and Aizawa would put on another collar on Izuku. And, well, we're gonna have to have a talk later. Why does my head hurt so much? Fuck. Izuku's hair would begin steaming as it would turn green again. Fuck, my head feels like it just got hit by a truck. The world's spinning. Is this what a hangover feels like? Yes, it is. That's just what Aizawa says as he drags Izuku by, like, the arm into an alley. All Might's being swarmed with reporters, like, "Are you sure that you would have let the child die? Because that, like, weird white-haired kid showed us a recording of you standing there, doing nothing, and he's apparently reliable because he predicted a man's divorce." Well, like, All Might's reputation took a hit that day. Took a massive hit. Yeah. Anyway, certain aspects about Izuku have begun changing since his first time using his quirk. His green hair has begun getting streaks of white in it, and his bones have become basically rubber at this point. He went from, like, a baby, his bones being as soft and malleable as a baby, to literal rubber. He is practically made out of gelatin, and whilst, yes, he can't, like, bend his joints any way he wants them, he certainly, is a lot more durable, as you would say. Anyway, him and Aizawa had a talk about Izuku's first time using his quirk, and, well, the experience of finally feeling his, well, actual power. Everything became clear to Izuku when he took off his collar. Everything became free to him. He experienced what felt like true freedom for the first time. Where he doesn't have to abide by any laws, not even the laws of physics. And he just can be free. Hey, Bob, what's with the, Biwa woman with the spiral spinning eyes? Can you not? I'm trying to do a what-if here. Yes, and I'm the main star of it, so I think I should be informed of these things. Later. Fine. But in the next part, get this video to 25 likes and we'll do another part. Well, he'll be forced to, anyway. Next part, explain what was up with that, okay? Okay. You better. Anyway, yeah, so let's continue. So, yeah, Izuku essentially just felt free for the first time, and if I'm being honest, he's already addicted to the feeling. Yeah. So Overhaul would just you know, arrive, kidnap Izuku, and then just leave. How did he do it? Lots and lots of guns! Yeah, Overhaul would just turn up, send a few goons to keep Aizawa distracted, just kinda kidnap Izuku. Like, he saw what his quirk did, and it was like, holy shit, he made a building-sized explosion that did not damage any buildings. How do you do that? Yeah, so Izuku would be kidnapped. Overhaul would notice the extreme amount of quirk erasing technology that's just on his neck, and the fact that it's military grade, like all of it, like #1 villain type beat. This stuff would make All For One like kinda weak. The stuff that's on his neck. So the hell is it doing it on a kid? His work's probably better than he thought. So, what does Overhaul do? Over the course of the 9 months of, training, he tortures the fuck out of Izuku, takes off pieces of him, he, dissects the man. He learns a lot about Izuku's biology, like how he has an impressive healing factor. Quite the astonishing one. Anyway, Izuku would quickly become friends with Eri. And one day Overhaul would just kinda be doing his thing, making Izuku's life a living fucking hell, as he would eventually make a fuck up, and accidentally cut one of the wires on Izuku's collar. This would cause Izuku to have a fucking spasm. It looks like he's having an epilepsy attack. Eri's seeing this, Izuku, are you okay? As he would just begin, shaking violently. As Overhaul just goes, well, I have to fix this before anything gets out of... Before Overhaul can touch Izuku's collar to fix it, Izuku would grab Overhaul by the wrist. As well, Izuku would rip off his collar, ripping it in half, as he would quickly lean up to Overhaul, his hair turning white now, as he would say, how you doing, doll? Oh, fuck. Overhaul would just get thrown through a fucking wall, as Izuku would look at Eri. She's, having an absolute fucking, she is absolutely fucking terrified, as Izuku would just say, hey, don't worry. You know that, you talk to me and all that jazz? Well, you're about to meet the real me. The me without the collar that's kinda dampening on my entire jazz, Izuku would do a quick little tap, would just tap dance a little bit, as he would go, tap, jazz. Eri would stop, crying and giggle a little bit. As Izuku would say, you never watched a cartoon? Well, you're about to see one of the best cartoon stars in history. He would just kind of stretch his leg forwards as he would bolt. Fucking pole vault alt style. Overhaul, remembering what Izuku did, would just instinctively know not to dilly-dally, so he would take his henchmen, merge, and he's now the size of a giant fucking building. Building-sized Overhaul with the 4 arms. That Overhaul. That Overhaul is essentially what Izuku's fighting. Izuku's smiling whilst looking like this, I'm about to go Attack on Titan on this bitch. The Colossus... I'm about to go full-on Attack on Titan. I'm coming, Berthold! As a set of ODM... As he would spin his hands, and a set of ODM gear would appear out of nowhere, as he would strap it to his waist, and just go flying. Just go zooming. As Izuku would begin singing the Attack on Titan theme as Overhaul would punch forward. Izuku would go under it, slash along his arm, and then just kind of go right for the stab at Overhaul's head. Overhaul would bat him away, sending him into a building, causing the building to break down. Like the entire fucking building just reduced to rubble. As Izuku would climb out, like, with his face just kinda, how one would say, in half. Not like bleeding or anything, he just got frying panned. You know how if you hit a piece of Play-Doh, the Play-Doh will flatten? Think like that. Half of his face has been flattened into his head, as it would just kind of pop out with a little popping sound, and his head's now, like, full, is now, like, perfectly fine, as he would say, "Ah, that hurt." He would begin taking pieces of rubble and metal, and he would begin spinning around with it, creating a dust cloud, and from inside there's just the sounds of tools working. As well, he would eventually, the dust cloud would dissipate, and he has created the fucking Hiroshima bombing plane. He's Japanese, so I can do that. But yes, he has made the Hiroshima bombing plane in a 1-to-1 exact model. As he would get in and like press a button on the dashboard, causing an American flag to just shoot out of the side of it. Like a little tiny American flag. As he would just get in and, well, as the plane goes, he would just go, "This is for you. This is for you, Abraham Lincoln." He has a picture of Abraham Lincoln on the dashboard, as the picture would just wink at him, as he would just go flying. Overhaul's confused, but he would just punch forward. Izuku would swerve out of the way, press a few red buttons on the controls of the plane, and out of the propellers would fire bullets. Like the middle of the propellers, bullets would just materialize and fire forwards. Irie's looking at this like, wow. Like the plane is rubber hose, so it's just kinda moving a little bit like a bird. As Izuku would fly by an aquarium, as he would pull out a bucket with the words chum on it, as he would just kind of bring it down to the side of the water, a bunch of sharks would just come up from the water, as suddenly their weird button eyes would turn into, like, thinking in semicircle human eyes, like you would see in a cartoon. As well, the sharks would just kinda get out of the water bipedal style. Well, they're still, like, in the aquarium, like, in the water, they're just standing on the water. As well, they would just kinda grab their fins and stretch them out, as they would then, reach back to their tails, spin it, and then T-pose as they would start fucking flying, chasing after the chum. As Overhaul's looking at this like, the fuck? Izuku would throw the chum at Overhaul, hitting him in the head, as shark planes would just come flying by, chomping. Overhaul would bring up his hand to try and stop them. They would bite through the hand, going through it. Overhaul would fly back, fixing his hand as well. Izuku would begin spinning in said aquarium, creating this water tornado, as, well, the water tornado would begin expanding, and it would wrap around Overhaul, bringing him in. Well, suck in Overhaul. And all the, sharks. And I'm sure there's a few fans watching this who really want to suck Overhaul, don't you? That was a joke, I'm so sorry. I know it was an inappropriate joke, I just couldn't resist it, okay? Yeah, it was an inappropriate joke. Can you shut up for 5 minutes? I'm trying to do my what if here. Yeah, I'm the star of the what if, so fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, back to the what if. Don't ignore me. Yes, I'm gonna ignore you. So, Overhaul's now trapped in the shark tornado. The sharks are like biting the water, still kind of flying like planes, but in the water. As well, Overhaul would just get fucking swarmed by sharks, as Izuku would press a big red button on his World War II Hiroshima plane, as the stomach of the plane would open, and this weird pill/dildo-shaped bomb would just come out, aka the nuclear warhead used on Hiroshima. Oh my fuck. As he would drop it in the middle of the tornado, causing, well, the tornado to shine like a fucking diamond, as the tornado would begin expanding, and then it would burst, having it rain water like everywhere. Having water spray everywhere. Erie's like laughing her ass off at this, like she's smiling and giggling whilst watching Izuku go ham. As Overhaul would be entirely obliterated. Izuku would just kind of land next to Irie, using a parachute to just gently float down, as he would say, Viva the Allies. He would just salute, as Irie would continue laughing at this. Izuku would just kind of pick her up, like, there's plenty more things we can do. The day's still long. The day's still long, Irie. Oh, wait, I think I should introduce you to Aizawa. He's kind of like my dad, but not really like my dad. But I really like him, and he's kind of like my dad. You know, he's the only father figure I've ever had, and he's really nice and understanding, so I think he'll like you. He's married to a guy named Present Mike. Well, that isn't his actual name, but it's just his hero name. They're very nice people. I'm sure you'd love them. Irie, who barely caught half of that, would just kind of give him a thumbs up, as Izuku would just begin walking in the direction of Aizawa's house, as fire crews, like fireman trucks, ambulances, and like so on would just begin appearing at the scene. So would police officers at, the fucking absolute carnage. One of the police officers is like, the fuck happened here? Overhaul's head, like his decapitated head, would just fall at his feet, as he would just look at this, recognizing Overhaul, as he would just inhale and go, ah! He would just begin screaming like, holy shit, someone managed to kill Overhaul! Yeah, everyone's like panicking because someone managed to fucking kill Overhaul. There's his decapitated head as evidence. A few of Overhaul's goons would kind of just climb out of the rubble, as they would curl up into a ball, shaking and shivering like, I've seen some things. As the sound of Izuku laughing would just play in their brains like, they're like rocking back and forth, traumatized. Anyway, I'm ending this off here. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, still looking for a name for this what if. Yeah. So anyway, goodbye, my lovely, lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Make a part 2, bitch! I will if this video gets 25 likes. Get this video to 25 likes! I hate that cartoon character. You know you love me! You're the one who created me in the first place. Touché. Goodbye. Hope you had a great time.